The seconds are ticking away to the monumental rematch.
In Osaka, Japan, Shinsuke Nakamura one-on-one with Samoa Joe.
At stake, the NXT Championship.
This should be a hard-hitting affair. In beautiful Osaka, Japan, we kick off a historic world tour for NXT Live. Welcome inside the sold-out Edion Arena. And tonight, the rematch from NXT TakeOver Toronto. Samoa Joe permitting this rematch so close to Toronto. Shinsuke Nakamura gets another opportunity at the NXT title.
The opening contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Boston, Massachusetts, weighing in 180 pounds, Oney Lorcan!
Capacity crowd here at the Edion Arena as Oney Lorcan makes his way to the ring, and Corey Graves. Oney Lorcan a long way from home.
I like Oney Lorcan. I'm a big fan. Smash mouth style, technically proficient. Not a whole lot fancy about Oney, but he's a tough as nails competitor.
The Boston Brawler Oney Lorcan certainly made a name for himself here on NXT. He's competed all over the world. What a pleasure it is for Lorcan to compete here tonight in Osaka.
Situation for Almas completely different than that of Oney Lorcan. Andrade Cien Almas has experienced a tremendous amount of success here in Japan.
And that is Andrade Cien Almas. Not too many times here on NXT have we seen Andrade with the mask that he used to don during his days before NXT. Well, that is something the Japanese crowd here is very accustomed to, this brand of Andrade Cien Almas.
Luckily for the NXT universe, Almas realized that there's a lot of money to be made with a face like this. Now he's not going to give it to us. There we go. Phillips, you have no idea what a burden it is to be that handsome.
There's so few of us. So Almas set to go one-on-one here with Oney Lorcan to get us started here tonight in Osaka, Japan. Show of respect by Oney Lorcan to start off the match, and Andrade Cien Almas not having any of it.
I like the attitude we've seen from Almas in recent weeks.
We talked about some of the history that Almas has here in Japan. We've mentioned it in the past. Former IWGP Intercontinental Champion actually defeated Shinsuke Nakamura to win the championship a few years ago.
If that's not enough to boost your confidence, I don't know what will.
Would you say this is a little bit of a home field advantage, quote unquote, for Almas having experience here in Japan?
I would say so. There's a certain level of comfort that comes with spending a lot of time in a foreign country. Almas has that. Not that Lorcan hasn't traveled the globe, but maybe not the same comfort level as Almas.
That's the beginning of an unprecedented tour for NXT, beginning here tonight in Osaka, Japan, and continuing Continuing down under to Australia, back stateside to California and Las Vegas. And the NXT Universe here in Osaka already getting behind Oney Lorcan. A little surprised by that, honestly.
Nothing to be surprised about, Phillips. A superstar like Oney Lorcan, much appreciated here in the land of the rising sun. Smash mouth, technically proficient.
Well, you competed here in Japan for a long time, and you know how...
Crowd never cheered for me like that, Phillips.
That's true. Well, you know how difficult it is for a gaijin, non-Japanese, to get attention from the crowd. Now almost bringing Oney Lorcan down to the mat. So much still to come here tonight in Osaka, Japan. The rematch for the NXT Championship between Shinsuke Nakamura and Samoa Joe. And almost caught up in the ropes and just hanging out.
Andrade, estás tranquilo, Phillips.
And Lorcan, once again, trying to show some sportsmanship, almost not interested. Talk about all the superstars coming off of NXT TakeOver Toronto. So many opportunities throughout this NXT Live Tour. How do you approach this in terms of longevity, Graves? Because eventually fatigue's got to come into play.
Fatigue's got to come into play, but that's what separates champions from the others. If you can endure throughout a grueling tour like this with a certain level of success, your name automatically gets thrown into the championship picture.
Now almost trying to turn things around. First Mexican to ever hold the IWGP Intercontinental Championship. And there's that nastiness from Lorcan. Oh! The back suplex there doesn't seem to faze Oney Lorcan.
Lorcan maintaining that vice-like grip.
And you hear that respect from the NXT Universe here in Japan. Very different type of reactions you're going to see.
It's a very different atmosphere. The NXT Universe here in Japan, extremely appreciative of technique.
Respecting the art form by all the superstars. Now Andrade Cien Almas trying to pick things up, as a little momentum here against Lorcan. Oh, there's a drop kick.
You've got to imagine the quicker the pace, the more it favors Andrade.
Andrade showing off some of that cockiness now into the corner with a back elbow, and he's got a hold of Oney Lorcan here on the run. Boom, right on the side of the face. Looking for an early cover here on Lorcan, out at one. Hey, Grace, we talk about how great of an opportunity is for superstars like Andrade Cien Almas, Oney Lorcan to,
oh my goodness,
bring all their talent to NXT, but then to get opportunities like this abroad, it's got to be very special.
It's about building your brand, letting the world know who you are and what you're all about.
Oh. And again, just plain disrespect throughout this match from Almas.
Yeah, but you see the look on the face of Oney Lorcan.
Well, does Oney Lorcan look like a guy you want to tick off?
Absolutely not. Oney Lorcan's in a lot of trouble right now, though. If Cien can maintain this momentum, it'll be lights out for the Boston native.
Shots to the midsection here from Oney Lorcan, and almost able to shut down the rally. Just think about
nice
a neck breaker. Now into a backslide, shoulders down, out at one again.
Oh! Brutal knife edge chops by Lorcan.
Off the ropes, and Lorcan able to take some advantages here against Andrade.
We've seen Lorcan in the past when he gets ahead of steam buildup. It's a tough one to stop.
Back elbow there out of the corner. Now Lorcan's got an opportunity. Second rope. Whoop. Usually goes for a blockbuster from that position. Oh, got it there on the run. This could be it for Lorcan to put away Cien. No kick out. The adaptability of Lorcan, we talk about his power, but the speed also on display.
How quickly the tides have turned in this match.
Oh,
Goodness.
there's a receipt from earlier and a European uppercut. Thinking about the inverted exploder there for a moment, had it in position, now Almas countering right on the side of the face. Hear those shots connect.
You can feel the shots connect from out here.
I was trying to out-muscle Oni Lorcan. Both men fighting for position. Wow! And it looked like Almas got the best of that one. Hook to the leg here on Lorcan. Shoulder up in time.
What a maneuver.
Unique offense by Andrade. We knew before he came here to NXT that Andrade was innovative.
And with that maneuver, it seems almost as if Cien has won over the universe here.
Hold on a second. Shoulders down on Lorcan.
Look
Not
at
going
this.
for a pinfall. Oh,
Incredible power by Andrade, but Lorcan able to battle his way out of the situation.
Lorcan saw it. Oh, disaster coming, able to get out of the way.
Oh my God, elbow strikes left and right.
Oh.
All landing right on the jaw of Lorcan. Oh!
Like the toe of his boot connected in the chin. Oh, inverted exploder. Watch this. Oh, turned inside out by Oni Lorcan.
Again, the momentum seeming to switch back into the favor of Oni Lorcan.
Look at that mug of Oni Lorcan. Almas is next into the corner.
Don't let Lorcan hear you say that about his face.
Oh!
Then again, I don't know that Lorcan cares. Lorcan just wants to beat people up.
Oh! Caught into the top turnbuckle.
What a counter by Cien. Launching Lorcan into the turnbuckles. Here we go.
Almas connects with the double knees. Cover. Oh, and Andrade had a foot on the bottom rope. I don't know if he gained any leverage by that, but still Lorcan kicked out.
Gotta respect the ring awareness of Cien, trying to obtain a slight advantage, even though it wasn't enough to down Oni Lorcan.
Could have been disqualified right there by the official.
Hammerlock.
Oh, seen him go for the DDT in the past, and Lorcan, well scouted, saw it coming, trying to out-muscle onto Almas into the corner. Oh, a boot stopping Lorcan dead in his tracks.
I don't think Lorcan knows what continent he's on right now.
Oh!
I take that back. Gotta respect Oni Lorcan. Every time we think he's out of the fight, he comes back with a vengeance. You gotta be kidding me.
A predicament here on the top rope, thinking about an exploder here from the top turnbuckle. Oh my God!
Wow!
Lorcan the cover. Oni Lorcan gets the win in Osaka.
Here's your winner, Oni Lorcan!
What a win for Oni Lorcan to basically come into Cien's backyard, for lack of a better term, and knock off Andrade. Congratulations, Oni Lorcan.
From brawling in the back bay to the Osaka bay. Watch this. Oh my God, I can't imagine what that feels like.
Halfway across the ring from halfway to the heavens. Lorcan driving Andrade down, picking up a big W in Osaka.
And Graves, we are just getting started tonight here in Osaka, Japan. Championships will be defended.
But it's a night of homecomings. The dominant NXT Women's Champion Asuka returns to her homeland to do battle with Monday Night Raw's resident dominant Nia Jax.
Now, meanwhile, coming up next, tag team action in the women's division. Liv Morgan and Aaliyah renew their rivalry with Peyton Royce and Billie Kay.
You can forget. But remember the Rumble. 30 men. One match.
'Cause we gon' blow your mind.
Winner headlines WrestleMania. Remember the Rumble. Live from the Alamo Dome. WWE Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Live Sunday, January 29th. Only on WWE Network.
It is time for tag team action here on NXT.
Introducing first, from Elmwood Park, New Jersey, Liv Morgan!
You know what, Phillips? I find it absolutely shocking. When I've spent time here in Japan, they wouldn't even let me work out in most public gyms because I have tattoos. Yet they let somebody from New Jersey in their country.
Come on, you don't want to see the 201 represented here in the, I don't know what the area code is, 06, I think, I'm not sure. I think Liv Morgan's going to make a lot of friends here in Osaka. Do they let you pump your gas in Japan?
Probably. They got this
So
thing
there
called,
might be some cultural difference.
they have this thing called honor in Japan, and respect and reverence. You're allowed to do everyday tasks by yourself, and you can make left turns, Tom.
And her tag team partner, from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, Aaliyah!
And Osaka gets their first look at Aaliyah. Tom Phillips, you were telling me earlier, you've had a chance to learn a lot about Aaliyah lately, right?
Well, Aaliyah and Liv Morgan have formed a pretty tight friendship over the last few months, obviously dealing with Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, doing a lot of time training together at the WWE Performance Center back in Orlando, Florida. And they had a great outing in Toronto a week after NXT TakeOver, knocking off Billie Kay, Peyton Royce, and Daria Berenato in a 6-woman tag team match.
And their opponents. From Sydney, Australia, team of Billie Kay and Peyton Royce!
Allow me to make a slight correction, Phillips. The team of Liv Morgan and Aaliyah, along with Ember Moon, defeated Daria Berenato. They did not defeat Billie Kay or Peyton Royce.
Oh, that's right, because Billie Kay and Peyton Royce left Daria Berenato defend for herself against essentially 3 other superstars, because Peyton and Billie are all about Peyton and Billie.
Peyton and Billie are all about Peyton and Billie because it served them very well. They run the women's division here in NXT, Tom.
If they run the women's division, why is Asuka still the NXT Women's Champion?
All a matter of timing and opportunity, Tom.
Asuka defending the NXT Women's Championship later on tonight against Nia Jax, a renewing of that rivalry. But this should be an interesting one here, as inevitably Royce and Kay looking for a little payback after what happened in Canada. I had a chance actually to talk to Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, and they
Why do I find that hard to believe? I don't believe these two women would even acknowledge your existence, Phillips.
They said they were excited about this NXT live tour, mostly because they would wind up in Australia. We're not terribly excited about facing Liv and Aaliyah tonight here in Osaka.
When you're a massive global star, Tom, every once in a while it's nice to go home. Whereas in the case of Liv Morgan, you can be a massive global star and still have to go back to New Jersey, which I don't think anyone wants to do.
So Liv Morgan to start this thing off against Billie Kay.
Billie Kay almost making it look easy.
Oh! Spoke a little too soon there. Liv Morgan brings down Billie Kay, now looking for a cover and a kick out at 1.
Little schoolyard offense from Liv Morgan, which is surprising, considering they even have schools in New Jersey.
Cover and a kick out. You really got to lay off New Jersey. I think our producer might get ticked at us. Shoulders down, and the referee just trying to keep up with all these attempts at some pinfalls.
If Liv Morgan would slow down, maybe she'd get the cover. She keeps rolling and rolling and rolling, and she's making poor Billie Kay so dizzy.
Oh, darn. Shoulders down, nearly had her. I bet you Billie Kay does wish she was in Australia right now.
I think Liv might have made herself a little dizzy. She wasn't quite sure where she was at the moment.
There's the tag, and in comes Aaliyah. Down goes Billie Kay, and tandem kip-ups. Shoulders down, cover, and just a 1 count there. And Aaliyah was really excited about NXT TakeOver a couple of weeks ago in her hometown of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and really warm reception for her in the 6.
Billie Kay able to overpower Aaliyah back to her own corner, and in comes the fresh Peyton Royce.
Into the corner, and Peyton Royce missing there. Oh, and caught by Aaliyah.
Much like you, Tom, I had the opportunity to speak to Peyton Royce, and I wanted to learn a little culture. I learned Japanese to ask a question to Peyton Royce.
You know, she's Australian. Why would you speak Japanese to someone who speaks English?
Shut up, Tom.
And Aaliyah getting the Edion Arena excited here, and Peyton Royce trying to regroup here along the ropes.
Pretty impressed with Aaliyah thus far, I've got to be honest with you.
If you're our general manager, Mr. William Regal, you've got to be paying close attention to this match. Oh, and a backbreaker there by Peyton Royce, tag made by Kay.
That was tag team work at its finest right there. Billie Kay getting the ref's attention momentarily, just long enough for Peyton to capitalize, and the tides have shifted.
And we talked about the NXT Women's Championship happening a little bit later on tonight. Nia Jax challenging Asuka. A boot right under the jaw there of Aaliyah. Mr. Regal is clearly trying to find the best competition to go after our undefeated champion, Mickie James, now Nia Jax. One of these 4 women could step up here with a win tonight.
Hypothetically, but you know Asuka's supremely confident with every reason to be. Asuka wants competition. She's begging for it.
Another tag made, now Billie Kay back in for Peyton. And Aaliyah in trouble here, 2-on-1 situation. Oh! Now the cover here from Billie Kay, and whoa! Oh! That's one unique way to get out of a cover.
Look at Billie Kay just clawing at the face of Aaliyah. Insult to injury.
Oof. And the knees right in the back here of Aaliyah. Oh, hold on a second. Aaliyah able to escape into a cover for a moment. Now trying to reach out to Liv Morgan in the corner and just chopped down by Billie Kay.
Stiff strikes right between the shoulder blades of Aaliyah.
Tag made, in comes Peyton Royce. Oh, dropping Aaliyah. Well, one thing we know about Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, a long friendship dating back to their time competing in Australia. They bring that forward here to NXT, and Liv and Aaliyah, a newfound friendship.
The sort of chemistry that Billie and Peyton have takes a long time to develop. It doesn't happen overnight.
Oh, and Aaliyah, very close opportunity there to Liv Morgan, and all the way back across the other side of the ring. On Aaliyah. Oh, and a double suplex there, stalling for a moment. Aaliyah in trouble. Billie Kay the cover, and Aaliyah still in this match. Graves, you always talk about the beauty of Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. There's a lot of strength behind it as well.
Aggression, strength, technique, skill. I can keep going on, Tom.
Bad attitudes and be a total package.
Just because they don't like you, don't mean they have bad attitudes. Once again, Peyton and Billie have cut the ring in half, isolating Aaliyah in their own corner.
Tossing around Aaliyah here, Peyton Royce. Aaliyah's taken a lot of damage here in this match from Kay and Royce. Can she make a tag to Liv Morgan? Peyton Royce has Aaliyah all tied up here.
Notice how Peyton used the long legs to put her knee in the spine of Aaliyah, driving Aaliyah right back down to the mat. The perks of having legs for days, Tom.
Oh. And Leah trying to get closer and closer to her own corner, and Royce sensing that brings her all the way back into her corner with Billie Kay.
Notice how quickly Peyton Royce's first maneuver was to put her own body in between Aaliyah and Liv Morgan. Prevent the tag at all costs.
Now the cover here from Billie Kay, again trying to put down Aaliyah, just can't seem to do it. Shouting right in the face of Liv Morgan, and a big headbutt. Oh, and a cheap shot on Liv Morgan on the outside.
Wasn't a cheap shot, it was an insurance policy. Once again, focusing on the fact that Aaliyah cannot make the tag to Liv.
Oh, and another shot to the midsection. Aaliyah in dire straits here in the wrong corner. Now the cover, and Aaliyah doing the smart thing, grabbing the bottom rope there to break up the hold, or break up the cover rather. Oh. At this point, the official is just checking on Aaliyah to make sure she can maintain here in this match. It's been all Kay and Royce. Thinking about another double suplex here, and Aaliyah, whoa, able to break free, make the tag, and there it is. Liv Morgan is in. Crossbody brings down Peyton Royce in a clothesline. Liv Morgan starting to feel it. There's a bulldog. Exactly what Billie Kay and Peyton Royce were trying to avoid. There's the STO. Now a cover. And Peyton Royce breaks it up.
Comes Aaliyah to neutralize Peyton.
Oh, right into the midsection of Peyton Royce, and now Aaliyah outside the ring. Oh, caught with a boot from Peyton Royce. Meanwhile, two legal competitors, Billie Kay, well, now Peyton Royce is legal. I don't know if Liv Morgan saw the tag.
I don't think Liv did, but she definitely felt the forearm of Peyton across the jaw.
Oh!
Good night.
Right into the knee of Billie Kay. Royce is legal. Royce and Kay get the win.
Here are your winners, the team of Billie Kay and Peyton Royce.
Very impressive victory for a couple of femme fatales, Tom. And I find it harder and harder to deny every time we see them. Peyton Royce and Billie Kay run this place.
Peyton Royce and Billie Kay looking for some retribution after the 6-woman tag team match in Toronto just a few weeks ago. Making good on their promise to get back at Liv Morgan and Leah. Well, we go from tag team action in the women's division to the NXT tag team titles. DIY set to defend their championships against the team of Akira Tozawa and Tajiri next.
Now playing. From the producer of Insidious.
I don't use religious methods. I go inside the victim's mind. I a victim from the inside.
Incarnate, rated PG-13. Now playing.
It is time for NXT Tag Team Championship action.
Introducing first, from Kobe, Japan, weighing in at 156 pounds, Akira Tozawa!
Akira Tozawa is a superstar, Tom, that I honestly don't know a whole lot about. I've only heard word of mouth. The little bit I've seen has been super impressive. Part of the cruiserweight division on Monday Night Raw and 205 Live. I think the future is very bright for Akira Tozawa.
Tozawa certainly impressed this past summer during the first ever Cruiserweight Classic, but has obviously made a name himself, preceding his time at WWE and NXT and getting a very warm reception here in Osaka. Tell you what, I cannot wait to see this tag team in action, especially competing for the NXT tag team titles.
what better partner than a veteran with a success record as long as the Japanese buzzsaw, Tajiri.
Gotta be honest, Tajiri makes me feel like when I was a fan watching sports entertainment, his time in ECW, all the great things he did in WWE, teaming up with our own general manager, Mr. William Regal, all the things those two would get into, but Tajiri and Tozawa on the same team, this is gonna be awesome.
And their opponents, at a combined weight of 400 pounds, they are your NXT Tag Team Champions, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, DIY!
Tom, I think I'm gonna be sick.
Why is that?
I'm looking at DIY wearing the Revival's NXT Tag Team Championship, and I don't think I'll ever get used to it.
What a night it was for DIY and NXT TakeOver Toronto, overcoming the odds and becoming the NXT Tag Team Champions in that classic 2 out of 3 falls match. Can't deny that.
I will give credit where it's due. On that particular night, DIY did what I thought was impossible. Wrestled the perfect match to dethrone the Revival. I still have to like it.
And now Ciampa and Gargano, the top guys in the
Stop
NXT
it.
Tag Team
Don't
division.
bite your tongue.
No.
No, they're not. They're the champions. But there's only 2 top guys in the tag division, and that's awesome.
But credit to Ciampa and Gargano, set to defend the titles here in Osaka, already proving that they are fighting champions.
I'm going to make a declaration right now, Phillips. As of this particular moment tonight, Tajiri and Tozawa are my favorite tag team. It's only because the Revival aren't in the ring, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I got it. It is all for the NXT Tag Team Championship. So some respect shown to the veteran Tajiri there. Looks like Tozawa prepared to start off this matchup here in a moment, but before we get started, genuine sportsmanship between all 4 men. So here we go for the NXT Tag Team titles. Johnny Gargano starting this off against Tozawa.
Got to wonder how the home field advantage of Tozawa and Tajiri are going to play in the minds of Gargano and Ciampa.
Well, some chance up for DIY as well here inside the Edion Arena. And think about where DIY's at. It's been a fairy tale basically since Toronto, winning the championships, all the success that they've had. Now you come here to Osaka and all of a sudden the tables are turned. This is an arena full of fans for Tajiri and Tozawa.
This is where we'll actually find out what DIY are truly made of.
Actually?
Can they ride the momentum?
Hold on a second.
Actually. Let me finish my point, Phillips. We'll find out if they're actually top guys, as you said, if they are deserving of the position that they are in. They had one perfect night, but now there is a massive target on the backs of Gargano and Ciampa.
I think certainly knocking off the 2-time NXT Tag Team Champions gives you a ton of credibility, but you are correct in that once you're the champions, it's what you do with the titles. We'll see what DIY does here tonight. Tozawa early trying to get a hold of the left arm here of Johnny Gargano. Gargano and Ciampa familiar with Tozawa and Tajiri from the Cruiserweight Classic this past summer. A little familiarity, will that help at all in this kind of match?
It could. Gargano and Ciampa, they do their homework. They studied up. They've probably been in the ring with superstars like Tozawa in the past. That said, that's not going to help you. Arrogance like that, Gargano. Oh, my goodness.
Johnny's a long way from Cleveland, Ohio. Oh! Into the senton. Hold on a sec. Cover there by Johnny and a kick out. Well, these two are moving here early on in this match. Whoa, missed with a kick.
I'll tell you one thing, if either kick from either man had connected, this match would have been one of the shortest in NXT Championship history.
And tags made. In comes Tommaso Ciampa on the left and Tajiri the veteran on the right. Tell you what, Graves, I feel like a fan again watching Tajiri.
You should be. I question my fanhood watching DIY.
Oh, come on. Whoa!
I think Tajiri missed. That was meant directly for the eyes of Tommaso Ciampa.
Well, the officials kind of going to have to pay attention to this. This could get Tajiri disqualified if that had gone in the face of Ciampa. Tajiri just playing mind games now, one of the best all time at that. Both men just trying to feel each other out, trying to find out the early momentum. Look at how cool, calm, and collected Tajiri looks.
Tajiri is completely stoic right now.
We've seen sides of Tajiri where he's been a little bit off, a little wild.
But look, we were speaking to the stoicism of Tajiri. Tajiri has been in these situations before. Tajiri has arguably been in every situation you can be in sports entertainment. High-profile matches, championship matches, different competitors. Tajiri has seen and done it all. Fantastic submission ability of Tajiri on display.
I can only imagine what our general manager, Mr. William Regal, thought about seeing Tajiri again. He had some adventures back in the day. This all for the NXT Tag Team titles, however. DIY going to be tested here in Japan. Oh! Ciampa running through Tajiri. Tajiri bringing down Ciampa. Now both men trying to gain some sort of advantage here, and down goes Tajiri again. Oh, face first into the mat goes Ciampa.
This is where the experience advantage of Tajiri could come into play. Ciampa got frustrated, got flustered, and Tajiri made him pay.
Top rope, Tozawa going after the left arm of Ciampa, and Tozawa now legal.
I don't know if Tozawa is going to have the ability to overpower Ciampa. It's not often you see Ciampa with a size advantage.
Ciampa able to gain some control here. There's the tag to Johnny Gargano. Very important night here for DIY. You've got to put the Revival in your rear view for the moment. The Revival do maintain a contractual rematch down the road, but tonight it's all about taking out Tozawa and Tajiri. Oh, they could be well on their way to doing that. Oh, bridging into the cover, hook to the leg here, Tozawa out at 2.
It's that sort of tandem offense we just saw, Tom, that gives the DIY probably a distinct advantage tonight. Tozawa and Tajiri not a full-time tag team.
And Tozawa doing the smart thing, gets to the bottom rope there, breaking at the hold momentarily.
Admirable sportsmanship on behalf of Ciampa. But I got to question that decision. In a high-pressure situation, you need to take advantage of every situation you can. No time for sportsmanship when you're the champion.
Give you some breathing room per the officials' orders, and now Tozawa looking for a cover there. Shoulders down for the titles, and a kick out. Oh!
What a shot. Right on the ear of Ciampa.
What's another cover there? Oh. I think Tozawa went into a cover there, but decided to collect himself and bring Ciampa into the corner. In comes Tajiri. Oh! Oh! Oh, here's the cover, some tandem offense and a kick out at one, and once again for the titles, Tajiri staying on top of Ciampa, a fourth cover and a kick out at two. Look at Tajiri, just ravenous on these covers, another kick out.
Every time Ciampa's forced to kick out, he expends a little bit more energy. That was a veteran maneuver from Tajiri.
5 or 6 covers right there in a row. Tag there, and Tozawa and Tajiri, oh, in command against Ciampa.
Ladies and gentlemen, report to the dance floor. Report to the dance floor. I feel like getting crazy. Do you feel the same? Let go your problems, baby, and come and dance with me. Higher, baby. Get higher, baby.
The NXT Tag Team Championship on the line here in Osaka, Japan. DIY asking for more from Tozawa, oh, and Tajiri.
Tozawa happily obliges.
Tommaso Ciampa legal right now, oh, against Tozawa. This is turning into a hard-hitting match.
Oh,
I think he's
goodness.
a bit of a masochist. Oh, that being Ciampa.
Two of the hardest strikers in the business.
They could do this all night, probably.
Oh, right on the ear.
Just cold cocked him.
I love it.
Big right hand there, Tozawa admiring his handiwork. Now backs Ciampa into the corner, starting to pick up the pace. Tozawa's got a target into the corner, caught. Ciampa into a backbreaker. Now Ciampa looking to retain the NXT Tag Team titles, kick out at two.
Fantastic counter by Ciampa. Completely changing the course of the match.
Ah, the knee bar there keeps Tozawa in place, and Gargano legal now for his team. Grace, back to the exchange we just saw a few moments ago. Just Ciampa and Tozawa just beat the heck out of each other. What gets in your head that it's like, you know what, bring it? What happens there?
Adrenaline. Adrenaline will make you do crazy things. Adrenaline can make you do amazing things. Unfortunately for Tozawa,
Backbreaker, cover, kick out.
Ciampa got the best of the exchange.
Now Gargano bending Tozawa at his will. Tozawa and Tajiri, a brilliant opportunity in their homeland of Japan. Inside the Edion Arena, and right now DIY, the champions in command.
Straight lefts to the forehead of Tozawa.
Graves, we talked about it before, a dream scenario for Ciampa and Gargano, not only to be in NXT, be in WWE, but to be champions. Now the real work begins, defending the titles.
Oh! What a counter by Tozawa.
A gutbuster there by Tozawa out of the air, tagged to Ciampa, but Tozawa could not get to Tajiri in time, taken off the apron.
Smart move by Ciampa. Eliminate Tajiri from the equation momentarily. And a full-on assault on Tozawa. Oh! What a pump kick right on the jaw.
Tozawa tagging in the Japanese buzzsaw. Listen to these kicks connect.
A classic Tajiri for you, Phillips.
Oh, right on the jaw. Tajiri is at his best right now. So dangerous. Cover here for the titles, kick out. Tag made, Tozawa now legal. Oh, both men knocked off the apron.
Uh-oh.
Tozawa takes out DIY.
Tom, I don't think Tozawa's finished just yet.
How about one more time? Through the ropes, down go Ciampa and Gargano. And a thumbs up from Tajiri. I think Tozawa's spent for the moment.
Tozawa launching himself, sacrificing his own body to take out DIY twice. To this point, this could be the biggest opportunity Tajiri and Tozawa have had. Can they capitalize?
Running forearm into the corner. Tozawa's got the NXT Universe behind him. Ciampa couldn't get the suplex. Tozawa could. Cover. Hook to the inside leg. Kick out by the champion.
Gotta respect the amount of power Tozawa was able to muster to lift the much larger Ciampa over for a massive suplex.
DIY with the champion's advantage in this match. Must gain pinfall or submission to become the champions due to Tozawa and Tajiri. And Gargano starting to stir in the far corner. Ciampa just trying to find a way back here.
Oh my goodness, with power by Tozawa.
Oh, shot to the back of the neck from Tozawa. Tag made, great tag there by DIY into a spear. Through the ropes, sitting down on it. Oh, kick out.
Let's take one more look at that fantastic teamwork.
Oh. Through the ropes, Gargano's connected with that so many times, just couldn't put away Tozawa.
That's the chemistry that makes DIY so successful and so dangerous as a team. Gargano looking for a brain buster.
Back to the corner, Tajiri made the tag. Don't know if Gargano saw it, but he sees these forearms coming.
Oh, right on the shoulder.
Tajiri's won tag team titles in ECW, WWE.
Oh, here we go, Tom.
Tag team title, here comes the
Tarantula.
Tarantula.
Great deal of agony inflicted in those 5 seconds the referee allows. Here we go.
Whoa, nice with that kick. Johnny's connects. Now the cover to retain the titles, and Tajiri's still in it. Well, tag made now, Tozawa. Oh, this was that pump kick there. Oh. And the pace starting to quicken here.
So impressed with the speed Tozawa possesses and competes with seemingly all the time. Oh! Wasn't quick enough to get out of the way of the kick.
And somehow Tozawa is still functioning after the enziguri. Gargano in trouble there. Ciampa saved his buddy. Oh, German!
A second one.
Ciampa thinking about a third. Tozawa saw it coming. Nearly returned the favor there, and oh, cover, kick out. Whoa! There's some power in that one, and in that one.
Snap German suplexes from Tozawa.
Tozawa's a man possessed.
Oh, talk about possession. Look at the power.
Oh, bridging into the cover for the NXT Tag Team titles. No.
We almost had new champs.
Oh. Tajiri. Oh! Oh, and there's another kick from Tozawa. Oh!
Pump kick to the base of the neck.
Oh! Tozawa turned inside out. Ciampa with a backbreaker. Oh, and Tajiri saved Tozawa.
What a match. Here the NXT Universe here in Osaka in any language. This is awesome.
Oh, wait a minute, trying to catch him here, trying to catch Ciampa, and Tozawa nearly had him for the titles. Tag made, Gargano legal. Oh, and down goes Tajiri opposite side.
Tozawa's vulnerable. Here it comes.
Boom! Meeting in the middle, cover, and the champions retain in Osaka.
Here are your winners, and still NXT Tag Team Champions, DIY!
You know, Tom, as much as it pains me to say, I'm never gonna like them. I'm never gonna own a DIY t-shirt, but I am getting more and more respect for the NXT Tag Team Champions every single time they step in the ring. That was incredible.
DIY with a fantastic title defense here in Japan against a very, very impressive effort from the new team of Tozawa and Tajiri. What a match here. We've got to take a look back at how this unfolded here in Osaka. Tozawa was on fire. Tajiri setting him up. Tozawa would knock him down.
Here's what a maneuver. Powerbomb into a spine-crushing backbreaker. We thought that was it, but Tajiri wasn't ready to let the opportunity pass.
The match would roll on, and bam! Right there, both men meeting in the middle with the super kick and the running knee. DIY knocking off Tozawa and Tajiri to remain champions.
Sign of respect from the champions for their challengers. What a battle. That's one successful title defense down. Will we see another? Tonight, the rematch. The NXT champion Samoa Joe defends against the King of Strong Style, Shinsuke Nakamura.
And Asuka wants competition. Well, she's going to have to face an old rival in defense of her NXT Women's Championship. Nia Jax faces Asuka next. Osaka, Japan, home to over 19 million, but tonight, home to the NXT Universe inside the Edion Arena. We are awaiting yet another NXT Championship matchup. The women are up next.
Be totally honest with you, Tom, if there is one woman under WWE contract that can dethrone Asuka, I truly believe it could be Nia Jax right now. Nia Jax, we remember, TakeOver the End, took Asuka to the limit, but wasn't able to get the job done. Since then, Nia has continued to improve, got more experience on Monday Night Raw, and might be the most dangerous woman on the planet right now.
Nia, the resident monster of Monday Night Raw. Another championship opportunity here for Nia Jax. We talk about it all the time. Asuka wants competition. Mr. Regal wants competition for the NXT Women's Championship. Who better than Nia Jax?
word we just spoke was absolutely true, Tom. I've got to be honest. Is it possible to stop Asuka anywhere, let alone in her homeland of Japan? A homecoming for a woman who is undefeated in NXT. It's going to be a tall task for Nia Jax.
Yeah, lately, the best chance against Asuka is if she misses her flight. That does not happen. Asuka undefeated for over a year here at NXT. Graves, there's just something special about competing in your hometown. Asuka competing here in Osaka, Japan.
Every time Asuka steps into the ring and dominates, she grows a little more confident. Add that to the fact that she's in her home. Good luck, Nia.
It has been a reign of pure dominance for Asuka. How will she fare tonight against Nia Jax, who is truly unique?
But look at the champion. I don't know that I've ever seen Asuka this confident.
It's good to be home.
The following contest is a women's division match scheduled for one fall. And it is for the NXT Women's Championship! Introducing the challenger from San Diego, California, Nia Jax!
It was telling right there. I've never seen Asuka take a step back from anyone.
And her opponent, from Osaka, Japan, she is the NXT Women's Champion, Asuka!
A warm welcome for the champion. And Tom, I got a feeling this thing's gonna break down in a hurry.
An important title defense here for Asuka in Osaka, Japan. Here's a fun stat for you, Graves. By New Year's Day, Asuka could be the longest reigning NXT Women's Champion in history, but can she get past Nia Jax here tonight?
Asuka has done it once in the past, but like I mentioned before, this is a different Nia Jax, a more experienced Nia.
And look at Jax already looking to cut off half the ring, trying to keep Asuka bottled up. Oh! And if you're Nia Jax, what did you learn from NXT TakeOver the End coming into this match?
Nia knew that as dominant as she was, Asuka was slightly more so. We know Nia's work ethic, how much Nia wants to be the best on the planet. You know Nia's willing to put in the work to not let history repeat itself.
Now Asuka fighting up here against Nia Jax. Oh, big headbutt.
There aren't too many women on earth. Wow! Oh my God! There aren't too many women who can withstand one or two strikes from Asuka. Nia just stood through a flurry and launched the champion across the ring.
Oh, Asuka, whoa! Just flicked away by Nia Jax. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Nia could be caught in an octopus hold. Can Asuka able to pry the arm back?
On top of Nia Jax here, middle of the ring. This has been the downfall of Nia Jax in some matches in the past, but able to break free.
Asuka looking for a guillotine.
Now, reminiscent of her battles with Bayley.
I don't care how big or strong you are. If you can't breathe, you can't fight. Oh my God.
There's the power from Jax. Oh. Oh, just planted. Big spine buster from Nia Jax.
At what point does the champion start questioning herself? Did I have the right game plan? Am I underestimating Nia Jax?
And you mentioned it earlier, how confident Asuka looked, how calm and happy she looked to be home here. That could be a downfall.
I can guarantee you Nia Jax would love nothing more than to embarrass the champion in her home country, her hometown.
The official checking on Asuka here. Oh. NXT Universe trying to get behind the hometown favorite in Asuka, Nia Jax. Here's the power of Jax into the turnbuckle. The NXT Women's Champion in some trouble here.
We have a situation. He's escaped police custody.
He's an ex-federal agent. That's double my usual rate.
Eliminators. Own it now on Blu-ray and DVD.
The NXT Women's Championship being defended here, but Nia Jax is all over Asuka in her hometown of Osaka, Japan. It's been an incredible night already here inside the Edion Arena. Oh! And Nia Jax looking to shut down the party for Asuka. Now, this is the second time the official has checked on Asuka. We haven't seen Asuka in this bad a shape in a match in a long time.
Since the last time Asuka was in the ring with Nia Jax, but again, a more dangerous Nia than last time.
Now, Asuka trying to fight from the mat up.
Asuka battling valiantly, trying to change the tides of the match, but with one brutal headbutt. Nia shuts down the champion again.
Asuka, you gotta protect yourself. I'm gonna stop this, Asuka.
You hear the official, you gotta protect yourself. Asuka, you're gonna stop the match? I don't think we've ever heard that with Asuka.
Wow, look at Nia growing more and more confident as the match progresses.
Understandably so. There's nothing to lose here for Nia Jax. Oh,
God.
Everything to gain for Nia for the championship and a kick out. And that's some of the cockiness of Nia Jax. Didn't hook the leg.
That could have been an inexperience factor right there. When you're in the ring with somebody as celebrated and dangerous as Asuka, you maximize every pin attempt.
At the same time, that's exactly how much Nia Jax believes in herself, feels that she is the most dominant female athlete in all of WWE.
We've seen the records on the wall of WWE Performance Center. Undoubtedly the most powerful woman in WWE. Nia just asked the referee to check on Asuka, see if they could stop the match.
Remember that it's champion's advantage. Only way the championship can change hands is by pinfall or submission. Another cover out at one.
Pinfall, submission, or completely incapacitating your opponent.
It happened with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. The knee into the back here, and Asuka not able to gain a foothold in this match.
Nia has done a phenomenal job of keeping the NXT Universe out of this match. Every time they start cheering on Asuka, Nia shuts them down in a hurry.
Forearm right in the face.
Nia's got to be careful not to get too confident.
Oh. That forearms from Asuka bounced off the ropes and caught again by Nia Jax. Was saying about a Samoan drop, fell into a cover there, hooked to the leg and a kick out.
Asuka fought her way out of the Samoan drop that Nia was looking for. Asuka continues to fight. Nia needs to be careful not to let the confidence.
Oh, sidewalk slam, hook to the leg, cover for the title, kick out by Asuka.
Nia can't let her confidence turn from an asset into a detriment. But right now, it is all Nia Jax.
Right to the midsection. Oh, Asuka!
Spinning back fist, and again.
Oh, and one headbutt. And Asuka right back up to her feet, but dropped again.
Nia connected with a left that dropped the champion. And now Jack just raining down right hands. We've seen Asuka knock women out,
yes,
with the spinning back fist. Nia just with 3 of them.
Oh, big elbow drop. Another cover here on Asuka, and Asuka gets the shoulder up again. Hey, Grace, you've seen it firsthand on Monday Night Raw. Nia Jax has had to watch as the history has unfolded between Charlotte and Sasha Banks regarding the Raw Women's Championship. How important would it be for Nia to say, hey, look what I brought back to Monday Night Raw?
I could skyrocket Nia to the next level of her career.
Oh, big clothesline. Especially defeating Asuka in her hometown here tonight of Osaka, Japan.
Nia wearing down the champion with a modified Cobra Clutch submission. Trying to put Asuka to sleep in the center of the ring. The champion's in a lot of trouble, Tom. She's in the center of the ring.
The champion gonna have to try and break out of this as soon as she can, or try and get to the ropes. Now breaks free, has an opportunity. Well, brought Nia down. Brought Nia Jax down to the mat. Looking for
Asuka with a knee bar.
And Nia Jax just trying to roll herself, trying to roll over onto her belly perhaps so she can get better positioning, but it's only benefited Asuka more.
I think Nia just rolled herself into the exact position she did not want to be in.
Trying to get her hands free so she could get to the bottom rope, but look at Nia stood up out of the knee bar. Off. I hear the impact. Oh!
Nia swinging wildly, wasn't able to connect, and Asuka made her pay.
Oh, caught up Asuka in the ropes.
What a counter by Nia. Let's take another look at this. Slamming the champion straight into the mat. And once again, Nia assumes control.
All this for the NXT Women's Championship. Oh. Oh, and Nia Jax sent through the ropes to the outside.
And Nia landed on her feet, just looks angry.
It's still a good opportunity for Asuka, but can she capitalize?
Nope.
Oof.
Oh, that will.
Oh, and the hip attack, and Jax is down outside. And for once in this match, Asuka is the high ground. Uh-oh, no.
Spoke too soon.
Oh, just ragdolled into the apron.
Nia Jax has been an absolute wrecking machine this entire bout.
A count of 2 here. Asuka's gotten to the count of 10 to get back in the ring, but again, champion's advantage. The title can only change hands inside the ring.
This could be the inexperience once again of Nia. Nia needs to get Asuka in the ring to beat her.
That proves, oh, Asuka, the fighting champion, wants to get back into this match, but again, the leg drop to the back of the neck, and now Asuka's outside the ring again.
Again, Nia Jax maybe not as familiar with the rulebook as she should be. Nia needs to get Asuka in the ring and capitalize and win the women's championship.
And Nia Jax just taking her time, apparently trying to pick her moment here against the champion. Oh! Uh-oh. Oh, no, 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 no.
Oh, no.
Oh, into the apron. Hardest part of the ring where steel and wood combines. And again, Nia Jax climbing back into the ring, the champion in a bad position here, but again, it's about the title.
Nia should be throwing Asuka in the ring, covering the champion and winning the championship. Instead, Asuka is receiving ample time to recover.
Count of 8, and Asuka climbs back into this match. And Nia Jax misses with the leg drop.
Oh! Here we go.
Caught up by Jax.
Oh, right on the jaw. Overhand strike. Jax is down to one knee.
And Asuka with the hip attack. Can she retain the championship? Jax shoulders down, powered out.
Could have been a last gasp effort from Asuka. How much does the champion have left? Because again, the challenger is stirring. Nia Jax is... Oh, no.
Jax has an opportunity here. Was thinking about a power bomb. Now Asuka creates separation.
No. Asuka like running into a brick wall.
Oh. Shots to the side of the face of Nia Jax. Asuka able to battle from any position. Whoa.
Asuka's got the armbar locked in.
And Nia Jax caught in a bad situation here. Would Nia Jax tap out to the NXT Women's Champion?
Nia able to take the pressure off of her elbow, but Asuka's got to be looking for a triangle.
And the official had to be careful for a pinfall. Was thinking about a power bomb was Jax.
Asuka looking for the Asuka lock. Can Asuka overpower Nia Jax? Jax just too powerful. Oh.
And dropped into the turnbuckles, but Asuka on top of Jax.
Asuka's got a sleeper locked in. Jax doing everything she can possibly conceive to escape.
Asuka all the way.
You are kidding me.
Oh, what a power bomb.
Unholy power from Nia Jax.
Now the cover for the NXT Women's Champion. Kick out by Asuka.
I can't believe Asuka survived that. But if you're Nia Jax, you've got to start questioning yourself. Take another look. Oh, almost drove the champion through the ring.
This is why Asuka's been undefeated for over a year.
You've got to wonder when endurance comes into play. The longer this match goes, does it benefit the champion?
This resilience of Asuka finding a way in matches like this.
Oh, another spinning back fist.
Now Asuka not able to connect with that last one. Thinking about a Samoan drop was Jackson. Now Asuka connects.
The size advantage of Jax, too much. No. Oh my God. The fighting spirit of Asuka starting to pulse through her veins. Superhuman power.
Oh, man! Cracking Nia Jax on the jaw cover, and the champion holds on to her title.
Here's your winner, and still NXT Women's Champion, Asuka!
Where did she find the power? Where did Asuka find the will to fend off Nia Jax in those final few moments?
I would be lying to you if I said I had any idea whatsoever, but you cannot deny, after a battle like that, what we just witnessed is exactly why Asuka is the NXT Women's Champion and still undefeated.
Oh, this earlier on in the match, Nia Jax showing off her power, whipping Asuka halfway across the ring, and then this was truly unreal strength from Asuka into the German suplex.
The hometown advantage and the sheer will to be recognized as the best in the world. Everything Asuka had left behind the kick delivered to the side of the head of Nia.
Reminiscent of NXT TakeOver The End, how Asuka defeated Nia Jax. What a feeling this has to be for Asuka to retain the championship in front of family and friends here in Osaka, Japan.
The song remains the same. The Empress of Tomorrow reigns supreme atop the NXT Women's Division.
Asuka's been a very confident champion, has been begging for more and more competition. From Bayley to Mickie James to Nia Jax once again here tonight in Japan. The question remains, who can knock off Asuka? What a night it has already been here in Osaka, and coming up next, it is our main event. The rematch from NXT TakeOver Toronto. Samoa Joe defends the NXT title against Shinsuke Nakamura.
It will be a night forever etched in history. Welcome to WrestleMania!
This historic tour continues next week as we head to Melbourne, Australia. Hometown boy Buddy Murphy teams up with Ty Dillinger to take on the team of Elias Sampson and Bobby Roode.
Roode and the Drifter, that's never gonna work. Maybe we'll have better luck in this one. A triple threat match in the women's division. Liv Morgan, Ember Moon, and Billie Kay will face off for supremacy.
And DIY defended the NXT Tag Team titles earlier tonight here in Osaka. They're going to do it again next week against Australia's own TM61 right here on NXT.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. And it is for the NXT Championship!
Time, a moment in NXT history we will not forget. You think back in the history of this brand, the ladder match for the NXT Championship, Bo Dallas and Neville. You fast forward to Brooklyn, Finn Balor and Kevin Owens, Beast in the East as well. But tonight, here in Osaka, Japan, Samoa Joe defends the NXT title, perhaps the highest profile championship match in our history.
If you look into the eyes of Samoa Joe, you can see the ever-present determination that's led Joe to the top of the mountain is in full effect tonight.
And what has brought Shinsuke Nakamura back to his home country to look to reclaim what was once his.
A reception fit for a king, returning home, the king of strong style, Shinsuke Nakamura, with a home field advantage in this NXT title bout.
Shinsuke Nakamura from Kyoto, Japan, just north here of Osaka. A moment that feels tailor-made for the king of strong style.
This building is absolutely electric. We're going to have a big-time throwdown. Referee better get things under control.
Introducing the challenger from Kyoto, Japan, weighing in at 220 pounds, Shinsuke Nakamura! And his opponent, from Huntington Beach, California, weighing in at 282 pounds, he is the NXT champion, Samoa Joe!
See, as the traditional streamers are taken out of the ring, a strong following for the king of strong style. Like we said, home field advantage could come into play. That said, Samoa Joe, no stranger to Japan. He's had a lot of success in the land of the rising sun.
And two superstars who have battled all over the planet. And tonight they throw down for the NXT Championship, the most coveted prize our brand has to offer.
You have to imagine, Tom, Nakamura feels like he's got the weight of his entire home country on his shoulders to perform in this match. Samoa Joe, however, no such pressure. Joe just needs to come in, perform, and defend.
Shinsuke Nakamura knocking off Samoa Joe this past summer in Brooklyn. And then Samoa Joe winning back the title last month in Toronto.
See these two incredibly talented strikers just feeling one another out.
What does Shin need to do to win his title back here tonight?
I don't have an answer for you, Tom. Samoa Joe has been so dominant as of late. I don't think anybody saw Toronto happening the way it did. Joe dethroning the king, but Samoa Joe is incredibly confident tonight. Let me ask you, Tom, what does Joe have to do to retain?
Samoa Joe obviously was showing he was going to do whatever it took in Toronto to win the title, took advantage, went for a low blow on Shinsuke Nakamura to set up the muscle buster. If he goes with that tonight, it might help him. Champion's advantage here tonight is Shinsuke Nakamura, the mind games once again. Remember, champion's advantage here tonight in Osaka. Good vibrations in the corner. Japan's seen it many times before. The championship cannot change hands on a count out or disqualification. Only by pinfall or submission do we find out who our champion is.
Smart maneuver by Samoa Joe, rolling out, collecting his thoughts.
This is what Samoa Joe does best, is putting the pace of the match in his hands. He will not allow Shinsuke Nakamura to control this fight. Oh, referee in between this.
Classic Samoa Joe. You don't have to like the strategy, but it was effective nonetheless.
Everyone has stories, but none quite like these. Introducing WWE Network's newest animated series, WWE Storytime, featuring the craziest
And his gear exploded. Oh my God. His junk is literally hanging out.
wackiest,
Freddie literally puts the car up against the guardrail and we're driving almost sideways.
most unbelievable untold tales of life on the road. Voiced by the superstars and legends of WWE.
He slides the big sliding door, bends around, and with an old couple that he moved.
WWE Storytime. Watch anytime on demand, only on WWE Network.
And Samoa Joe laying into Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura the challenger, but the champion is lighting up the King of Strong Style.
Samoa Joe treating Nakamura like a human speed bag.
Now dragging Nakamura outside the ring into the barricade. Oof.
Joe in full control, and as we know, the more confident Joe feels, the more dangerous he is.
And think about where Samoa Joe's at. This is a championship that has consumed Samoa Joe for well over a year. He wants to move past Shinsuke Nakamura in defiant fashion here in Japan.
Samoa Joe feels his body of work should speak for itself, but he wants to silence all the critics, the non-believers.
Remember what happened in Toronto, using the steel stairs to his advantage to take out Shinsuke Nakamura. Setting up the stairs outside the ring, Nakamura saw it coming. Now Nakamura brings the fight back inside the ropes.
Stiff shots to the abdomen of the champion. Uh-oh. Bang!
Enziguri from Joe.
Nakamura may be out cold.
Samoa Joe staring down the challenger.
Raking the bottom of his boot across the face of Nakamura.
Oh, Nakamura right to the midsection.
Shinsuke didn't take too kindly to the disrespect of Samoa Joe.
Oh. And the knee strikes from Shinsuke Nakamura continue.
Nakamura looking for a guillotine. I don't know if Shinsuke's got his fingers locked, but the champion could be in trouble.
A momentary loss of consciousness there perhaps for Samoa Joe. Now a snapmare. Knee drop right across the bridge of the nose. All the championships that Shinsuke Nakamura has taken home here in Japan. How much he would love to become two-time NXT champion here in Japan once again. Oh, man!
Joe has no intention of letting Nakamura know that pleasure. Driving Shinsuke knees first into the canvas.
I'm very reminiscent of the game plan in Toronto. Samoa Joe tried to take away the knees then. Can he do it again here in Osaka?
Joe knows if you take away Nakamura's legs, you take away the Kinshasa, you take away the wicked leg kicks. You take a great deal of Nakamura's strategy away.
The official checking on Shinsuke Nakamura, asking, can you continue? Nakamura not going to give up in this fight.
so deceptively fast. Samoa Joe sweeping the legs of the challenger out, doing yet more damage to Nakamura's left knee. And a measured knee strike to the ear of the king.
And that massive knee into the knee of Shinsuke Nakamura. Samoa Joe just laying into Nakamura while he's at it.
This is a brilliant strategy to retain a championship.
Oh. Samoa Joe hobbling Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura now using the forearm. Oh, and a shot
man.
like that. Oh. Oh.
Here we go. Power drive, elbow right through the heart of Nakamura.
Look at Joe slide right into the cover to retain his title, and Nakamura kicked out. Now Samoa Joe trying to assess the situation. What is it going to take for me to close out Shinsuke Nakamura?
Well, I can assure you, if Joe can figure it out, he is more than willing to do it.
Oh, caught
Wow,
Samoa Joe.
wow, into a knee bar. Incredible athleticism by Samoa Joe. Nakamura may tap out in the center of the ring in his home country.
Joe turned it around on Shinsuke. Now Nakamura, you can see the pain all over the face of Nakamura.
See the torque on the knee of Nakamura. Samoa Joe twisting all of his body weight on the ankle.
Now Nakamura trying to drag himself perhaps to the bottom rope. Screaming out in pain. We can get to the bottom rope. He can break up this submission.
Nakamura's foot is cradled in the neck of Samoa Joe. Oh.
The long limbs of Nakamura paying dividends.
I think Shinsuke may have lucked out right there. It was a matter of moments before his knee was completely destroyed.
Well, did he luck out? It depends on how much damage was done to the knee there. Samoa Joe could have played right into his hands. Oh! The headbutt disorienting Shinsuke Nakamura, and Samoa Joe ruthless in the face of the NXT universe. Oh! Oh!
Nakamura with a desperation boot.
Take one more look at this, watch. Boom, right on the side of the face, connected, however, with the injured left leg.
Nakamura was able to power through and pivot on the injured leg, but you're right, how much damage was done?
Oh, and down goes Joe. Oh! Oh! He can use both legs.
But the champion still has not been leveled.
Oh!
Sharp elbow to the top of Joe's skull.
Out muscling Samoa Joe, 282-pounder. Caught with the knee strike. Now Shinsuke falls into the cover for the NXT title and a kick out.
It's amazing what adrenaline can do to the human body. Nakamura able to withstand the pain and deliver a crushing knee strike, but it wasn't enough to topple the champion. Shinsuke looking for the reverse exploder. Well scouted by the champion.
Boot right to the midsection, hobble Samoa Joe for a moment. Oh, caught! Joe with a big boot. Senton! Now Samoa Joe to keep his championship. Shoulders down, and Shinsuke got the shoulder up in time. Samoa Joe is all over Shinsuke Nakamura here. Nakamura could tap out here.
Nakamura might as well be a mile from the bottom rope. Joe has the STF locked in deep.
How heartbreaking will this be for Shinsuke Nakamura to lose here in his home country of Japan?
What a smooth transition. This could be it. Great strategy by Joe, trying to tear the shoulder of Nakamura out of the socket.
Nakamura wagging the finger, saying not so fast, trying to get to the bottom rope. Can he break this submission here from Samoa Joe?
If there's ever a home field advantage present right now, would be when Nakamura needs the extra bit of will to survive this submission.
Samoa Joe, all 282 pounds of him on the spine of Shinsuke Nakamura, but the damage might be done. Look at Shinsuke trying to use his long legs, gets to the bottom rope.
There was a quickness by Nakamura. Joe adjusting his weight to clench back, and Shin finding just the slightest opportunity to escape. But you did make a good point, Tom. The damage may have already been done. Nakamura was in that submission for a long time.
Now Nakamura sees what's coming here from Samoa Joe. This has been the difficulty in their bouts, is out-muscling Samoa Joe. Now Shinsuke.
Wow, what a takedown, using this leg trip from inside, looking for an armbar. But Samoa Joe able to block. As long as Joe's hands are clinched, Shinsuke cannot lock on the armbar completely.
Now Nakamura, man's got some MMA training in his background here, but can't seem to break it. Now here's it looks like a cover momentarily, shoulders down, out at one.
Yeah, Nakamura has an MMA background, but Samoa Joe incredibly proficient in jiu-jitsu himself. Sharp elbows to the head. If Shinsuke can pass Joe's arm underneath his chin, it will complete the triangle.
Now just raining down those forearms here while he can here on Samoa Joe. Now Joe's got his foot on the bottom rope, and the official trying to split these two apart.
It's great ring awareness by the champion, using the ropes to his advantage to break the hold. Shinsuke was not able to lock in the triangle fully.
Now Shinsuke trying to knock some life into the left knee. Took a lot of punishment just a few moments ago. Oh, think about the reverse exploder here, and a shot to the knee. Wow, got it!
What a power display by the challenger.
Big German suplex by Nakamura, and he's got Osaka behind him.
Shinsuke's feeling it. Could we be seeing it?
Power slam! Joe, cover to retain the title. Shinsuke kicked out. What a sequence there between champion and challenger here in the Etihad Arena.
Now take a look at this from Shinsuke Nakamura. Massive German suplex dumping the champion right on the back of his neck. And it looked like Shinsuke was thinking Kinshasa, but the champion had other plans.
Give credit to Nakamura, a lot of force behind that, but he hung around here in this match.
You're absolutely right, but you got to wonder, Tom, this is the first night of this massive NXT tour. Could jet lag come into play for either one of these superstars? They spent a lot of time on a plane before tonight.
Oh.
Brutal chop by Joe.
Well, think of the muscle buster. This one's helped him win the title in the past.
Here we go.
Oh, Nakamura able to evade for a moment. Oh!
The champion evades a Kinshasa. Joe, Coquina clutch.
Behind here on Shinsuke Nakamura. Can he yank Nakamura to the ground?
Joe's got the Coquina clutch locked in tight in the center of the ring.
And Shinsuke Nakamura might be fading right here.
This could be humiliating for Nakamura to be put to sleep in front of his home country.
Oh!
German suplex by Joe. We've seen this before.
Oh, Shinsuke's seen it before, knew what was coming. Oh, and another German. Oh, and turned him inside out.
Nakamura may be out. He looks exhausted.
Joe's thinking about a cover here to retain the NXT Championship. Nakamura at a 2.5.
For the first time, we see a look of frustration on the face of the NXT champion, Samoa Joe.
Graves, what is this weight advantage playing in right now here? You got 280 pounds on Samoa Joe against Shinsuke.
A lot of times I would say that the bigger man, the longer the match goes on, works against his advantage. But Samoa Joe has endurance second to none. Right now it's up to Nakamura to be able to overcome the weight advantage.
Chance of Nakamura here in Osaka, inevitably getting under the skin of Samoa Joe. Now it go back up to the top rope, thinking about the muscle buster yet again, and Shinsuke able to battle free. Caught with the enziguri, dumped outside the ring.
I couldn't disagree with you anymore, Phillips. This crowd has not come into play at all in the psyche of Samoa Joe. Joe is sticking to his game plan, and it's working out very well. The champion has completely dominated the challenger thus far, Tom.
Samoa Joe tried to use the steel stairs as a weapon against Shinsuke Nakamura, much like we saw in Toronto.
Looks like Joe's staying the course, gonna give it another shot using the stairs.
Oh, no, 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 no. Trying to do it one more time. And Nakamura chopping down the champion.
Nakamura with a seemingly endless flurry of elbow strikes, preserving his opportunity to once again become champion.
Oh! Knee to the back of the neck, and Samoa Joe's face went off the steel.
This is Nakamura's moment. If he's able to capitalize, we could see a new champion.
And you can hear the official saying he got to get back in before the 10 count. Shinsuke Nakamura knows he can only win the championship inside the ring by pinfall or submission.
But Nakamura is clearly exhausted, can barely drag his own body inside the ring.
Oh. And again after the left knee. Whoa, this with the left there on Samoa Joe, knee to the midsection, right to the back of the neck. Oh!
Sliding knee to the ear. Not too many people will come up with the upper hand in a strike exchange with Samoa Joe. Nakamura is that man.
That's why they call him a king of strong style, up on the shoulders of Nakamura. There's the weight.
The weight advantage of Joe just too much. Nakamura exhausted, unable to keep up the champ's weight.
At the same time, Samoa Joe hit hard on his way down on the apron and then outside of the ring.
Yeah, but so did Nakamura. Nakamura went down hard himself.
Now Nakamura going up to the top turnbuckle.
This could be the knee strike, the prelude, Tom. We know what's coming next. Could it happen here in Osaka?
Samoa Joe is down. Shinsuke Nakamura feeling it from Japan.
The NXT universe is on their feet. Here we go. Kinshasa!
Running over the champion. Cover. Shinsuke Nakamura has won it.
Here's your winner and new NXT champion, Shinsuke Nakamura!
One of the classic moments in NXT history. Shinsuke Nakamura returns home to Japan and becomes a two-time NXT champion.
The celebration's underway already, but I gotta be perfectly honest with you. I'm stunned. I thought there was no way Samoa Joe was dethroned this soon after capturing his second NXT championship. But Nakamura did the impossible. Shinsuke Nakamura in front of his home country, here in Osaka, Japan, able to take down the NXT champion first with the prelude.
The knee to the back of the neck, and then Shinsuke Nakamura lining it up, and the Kinshasa right on the jaw. And this is what brought the Edion Arena to its feet. NXT Universe son, we have a new NXT champion.
Obviously, emotions at an all-time high for Nakamura to leave his homeland to pursue NXT, to become one of the biggest superstars in sports entertainment, to return home and capture the gold in front of his home. It's got to be surreal.
It's gonna be one of those moments you look back in the history of NXT, you think about TakeOver Brooklyn, what happened in Toronto. You're gonna remember what happened here tonight in Osaka, Japan, between Samoa Joe and our new NXT champion, Shinsuke Nakamura. Incredible sight here tonight in Osaka, Japan. Let's take one more look back at this unbelievable match for the NXT Championship race. This was, as you said, a prelude here right to the back of the neck.
Knee of Nakamura right to the spine of Samoa Joe, and we've seen it over and over again. The Kinshasa knocks Samoa Joe off the throne tonight.
A moment of elation for Shinsuke Nakamura.
Absolutely incredible atmosphere. The love raining down on the king from his homeland. What a night. Certainly one Nakamura will never, ever forget.